All right, welcome back to the Dr. Jimbo Love Show featuring Seth Matthew.
How's it going?
This is our St. Patty's Day edition. Again, we have the parade going on downtown. Those of you that are listening remotely, please come after you're done down there watching the parade. It started at 11 a.m. this morning. Should be finishing up between 1 and 1:30. Come on down to Brothers and let's watch some basketball, as we said in our Part 1 show.
Yeah, come drink some green beer. Let's celebrate the holidays.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on. How are you guys celebrating Brothers St. Patty's Day for the next number of days? Because, of course, we're only at the 12th, so you have 5 more days before the official.
We just had an event finish up. We had a Find Pat. We had a little statue of a leprechaun that we hit around the mall and gave out clues each day. It was found, and we gave away a $100 gift card. And now we are doing green beer. We have green tea shots for $5 as well. And we're going to run normal specials, so there is going to be happy hours on Friday. We're going to do normal nightly specials. We just want to throw the best party, and we invite everybody down to come watch some sports.
Absolutely.
And you know what? We even have some Irish dancers that we have each year. They're going to come out, and they'll put on a little show here. Usually happens around lunchtime, between like 1 and 2 o'clock.
Right on. And right now, for those of you that are in the Denver metro area, we are going to experience some beautiful spring weather coming up. Seth has a wraparound patio that's going to be open, and there's TVs out there on the patio. So come on over, especially Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week, not excluding today and tomorrow, because you're going to see some of the best basketball over these 6-day period of the whole season. Not to mention, we've got college hockey that will be playing as well. So you'll be able to watch hockey, any college game that you want to watch, and all of the basketball games, the college basketball games. So we're excited about that. Part 2 of our show, let's start out with the Aaron Rodgers trade, okay?
Aaron Rodgers did not get traded.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Aaron Rodgers signing. I'm sorry, we had the Russell Wilson trade, which we'll talk about here too. So Aaron Rodgers, 38 years old. Get this little fact. Not only did Aaron Rodgers' last contract pay him a bonus and a guarantee of $134 million, $98.2 million guaranteed, but he just signed the most lucrative contract in NFL history. He is now the highest paid quarterback ever, making over $50 million a year.
Ooh.
Okay, guaranteed. It's just amazing. They broke it down today. I was looking on the internet. He is going to make, folks, get ready for this, okay? Every minute that you see Aaron Rodgers on the field, he will be making $146,000 per minute played in the regular season games this year.
Ooh, that's a nice paycheck.
I mean, that's crazy. He's followed by Josh Allen, who is a $150 million man. Mahomes is 141.4, and Dak Prescott comes in at a very modest 126 million. What do you think about this trade, or this signing?
So to me, it's no surprise. I figured he was going to stay in Green Bay. I never really thought he was going to leave, but
really, even with the fact that his offensive coordinator came and became the head coach here at the Denver Broncos?
I thought that was all like kind of for show. At the end of the day, though, with Aaron Rodgers, the signing doesn't impress me. They didn't get better. They're now in a salary cap issue where they're not going to be able to bring in too many new people. So the team didn't get better. And newsflash, they haven't won a Super Bowl in like forever. So
2010 season, unfortunately, against my Steelers.
And so we're going all the way back to that. You're not going to improve your team. Your team has made it far both times, but now you don't have the money to go over the hump. So to me, I know Green Bay fans are super happy.
Exactly.
But you're still the same Green Bay team. So will you win the North? Most likely. Will you win a Super Bowl? I'm going to bet against you every single year because you can't afford to put pieces around him now. So as much as people are happy, I'm glad the drama's over now with Rodgers, and we're not going to talk about it anymore. But I also get a big fear when you get these kind of contracts that an injury usually comes up, and now they're paying you for nothing.
Well, he's coming off 2 incredible seasons. Remember, he's the 2-time MVP.
Yeah, he definitely earned it.
Okay, so, I mean, we saw Joe Flacco kind of roll the dice in a contract year. He had a career year. He signed a big contract with the Ravens. It didn't work out so well for Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
But remember, Aaron Rodgers is 38 years old. Now, Tom Brady played until he was 44 years old. These modern athletes that take care of their body and have the right trainers, have the right masseuse, have the right nutrition, 4-more-year contract for him, it's very, very plausible he'll be playing great football for the next 4 years. And at 42, we can reassess and see where he has to be. He certainly won't need the money. For Christ's sakes, he's got 2 contracts that put him in the range of basically Alex Rodriguez kind of money.
Yep.
When Alex Rodriguez signed those 2 contracts. But you know what? I'm glad the drama's over. And unfortunately for Denver, you didn't get Rodgers, but you did pull out a pretty good trade. We're going to talk about that right now. Let's talk a little bit about Russell Wilson deal.
Yeah.
Now, what are your initial feelings on Russell Wilson?
So as a player, I love him. I think he's a great player. If you look at it, he is the one that destroyed the Broncos in the Super Bowl. I think he is a phenomenal person. He played at University of Wisconsin. I loved him when he played there. I think this is good for the Broncos. They didn't give up as much as I thought they were going to have to get him. They gave up Drew Lock. They gave up Noah Fant, who I think is probably the biggest part of the trade. And they gave up a couple first-round picks. Now, look at the history of the Broncos. They always take a quarterback in the first round, and it fails miserably. Well, now they have the quarterback, so they don't have to worry about that. So I think this was a great trade for them. I know people in Denver are super ecstatic, and they're already talking Super Bowl. But let's pump the brakes a little bit because we're missing a lot of pieces other than Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson puts us in the playoffs.
Right.
I just don't think there's enough on this team currently. I mean, we'll see.
Well, they're in such a tough division.
Yeah.
The AFC West could be the premier division in football next year.
Yeah, it really could be.
It really, you're looking at the Chargers, and we're going to talk a little bit about this. This is a little tease. They added K-Mack from the Bears. So their defense has just been shored up by a ton. He's got a great pass rusher. Let's think about this for a second. All right, we talked about some monumental trades. And, back, some of you guys that know football, there was a monumental trade back with Herschel Walker when he was traded to your Vikings.
Yep.
And there were 5 or 6 guys involved, and Dallas ended up really doing well. They ended up coming off that trade after receiving all those extra people from Minnesota, and they won 3 out of the next 5 Super Bowls. What did Denver give up? Okay, number 1, they gave up Drew Lock. Okay, I think Drew Lock's a second-string quarterback at best anyways. I don't think that's a big loss. Noah Fant. Now, he's a tight end who really came on well at the end for the Broncos, and that's a big loss. It's a bigger loss than you think, Bronco fans. Shelby Harris was a defensive lineman. Again, we don't know exactly, how much of an impact that'll be and who they replace him with. But this is the kicker, folks. The Broncos went the way of the LA Rams. Okay? They gave up 2 first-round draft picks in the 22 and 23 season. They also gave up 2 second-round picks. That means for the next 2 seasons, Bronco fans, you're not going to get anything higher than a 3rd-round draft pick unless you trade up to get in those first 2 rounds. Okay? 5th-round pick is the last one, and that's in the 23 draft. So, 8 people for 1. Is it going to pay off for the Broncos? Will it pay off? We'll see. It worked out pretty well for the Rams, didn't it now?
See, I think it's going to pay off, and this is the reason why. The gaps in the Broncos roster aren't anything that you would typically take in the first 3 rounds anyways. Right. So it's going to be building an O-line to protect him. There's going to be adding to your defense, and a lot of defensive players, unless you're like a top-tier talent, don't go in the first round anyways. So I think they have the pieces. Now, this is the bigger thing I'm watching, because I believe it starts next week. Usually when you get a player like this, when all of a sudden, because you also realize Seahawks cut Bobby Wagner. He didn't even know he was cut. And he'd been there for 10 years. So now you have him in free agency. You have a bunch of other people. When you get a caliber player like Russell Wilson, players follow.
Oh, yeah. Look at Von Miller.
Yep.
Von Miller's already changed all of his social media pages. He's begging to come back and finish up with the Broncos because he doesn't want to be left out. He knows that there's some big things. One thing about the Broncos, they have a tremendous fan base. And everybody here is absolutely over the moon over this trade. And they finally, maybe, because remember, the Broncos haven't done anything since that 2015 season.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a little bit of a drought. And this fan base is hungry. They're ready. And I mean, there's such a buzz in town. What do you feel here? Have you been hearing people talking at the bar about it?
Yeah, everyone's excited. There's not one person upset about this trade. The only people that could be upset is the Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to be that upset much longer, because I'm going to call it right now. For those of you following the news, Deshaun Watson is not convicted of anything.
Oh, that is a great subject. Go ahead,
and
finish
so
there.
he is going to be able to go into free agency. And right now, I am hearing that his best fit would either be the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Seattle Seahawks after losing Russell Wilson.
Yes.
And so we could definitely see some awesome trades going on here. Free agency next week is going to be crazy. Keep an eye out. There's going to be changes left and right.
And just remember that he had over 4,000 yards passing, 4,800 yards passing in the 2020 season. Kyler Murray, you are welcome. Come and play for Mike Tomlin. Come to my Steelers. We'd love to have you. We brought on Michael Vick after his situation. We're a place where we take players like yourselves, and we will accept you as in our family, and we will protect you. So if you want to come to the Steelers, please do. We'd love it. And nothing would make me happier. I was really hoping for Russell Wilson, but that didn't happen. You know, there was talk about Aaron Rodgers. I got a little tease there. I just hope that we're not stuck with our second-string quarterback. I don't want him. Duck isn't going to make it. So if we could get him, that'd be wonderful.
Well, don't forget, there's one more quarterback sitting out there that nobody's talking about that is a clear-cut winner. He went 6-0 when he filled in for Tom Brady at the Patriots. He has gone to the playoffs with the 49ers multiple times.
Jimmy G?
Yep, made it almost to the Super Bowl again.
They're talking about him going to the Colts, though.
Yep, Carson Wentz did go to Washington, so
Yep.
he's still available too. So the free agency's still open there. But here's the thing, nobody was talking about Russell Wilson that much about coming to Denver.
No.
We were talking only about Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
And look what happened. So it's going to be interesting to see what teams slide in and start snatching up these players. It's going to be a really fun offseason.
I'll tell you, it's usually very, very hush-hush, and people don't know. You can listen to all these guys like Adam Schefter and all these people who predict things, but they're usually on the outside looking in. It's a lot of quiet, stealthy things that go on in these back rooms and between these owners.
And just to touch on it one more time with K-Mack. So we're all hyped here for
Yes.
Denver, but for Russell Wilson. But as I was sitting there and everyone was hyped up, it was kind of funny. We've gone through a whirlwind of emotions. We lost Aaron Rodgers,
Yep.
which there is rumors that we picked Russell Wilson first, but we'll let that go. But it went from we lost Aaron Rodgers to being disappointed because we're like, here goes another year without quarterback. Russell Wilson, everyone's pumped. But then we hear K-Mack to the Chargers. K-Mack and Joey Bosa to play defense that was already a good offense for the Chargers.
Yes.
And you know what? It kind of deflated some fans. Now, there's still hope. Everyone still has that optimism that we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. But that defense in the Chargers, I'm going to put in probably that I'm going to give them top 2 defense next year.
Big time. You got both ends now with Bosa and Mack. You know, it's really hard to stop 2 pass rushers of that quality. I'm telling you, the AFC West is going to be so much fun to watch this year. All 4 of those teams are great. And don't forget about the Raiders. The Raiders think about how good they were on paper last year. And of course, John Gruden leaving and losing his job early on just, threw just so much garbage into the mix there. But with the new coach coming in, and we'll see if Carr can handle it, Looks like Carr's going to be their man. I'm telling you, AFC West, I don't want to play against them. Hopefully we're not matched up with them next year, the AFC North, but, they're still in our conference.
See, I think the biggest issue for the Raiders, it wasn't the coach losing, because I think the coach that came in, he did fine. It was losing Henry Ruggs, that unfortunate accident that happened during the season, and with him gone, basically after, when did he leave? Like week 7, week 8?
Who?
Henry Ruggs.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had his terrible accident. So you lost your top-tier receiver.
Yep.
Josh
Odell
Jacobs.
Beckham left.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs was banged up.
Nope.
And
Gruden was gone in the second week of the season. I mean, that's got to be just so tough, especially for a quarterback like Carr, who has such a tight relationship. And Gruden was so involved with that offense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing that they did as well as they did, afterwards, with the interim coach. Next subject is kind of tough. It's a real tough subject. And Britney Griner, if you haven't heard, she right now is facing 10 years in prison time in Russia. She tried going through the airport on the 17th of February. Again, we didn't hear about it. A lot of people did not even know that this happened until it was reported on March 4th. Okay, so they didn't even know that she was picked up. She was held in an airport detention facility for 3 weeks, folks. She had cartridges of hash oil in her bag as she was trying to come back to the United States. The war did not start until the 24th. So this happened a full calendar week before Russia invaded Ukraine and really caused problems now. We are talking to, she's a 7-time All-Star in the WNBA for the Phoenix Mercury, 10 years, and she's over there playing in the Russian Premier League. Now, there's a couple people that are trying to help her out, okay? This U.S. Representative Garamendi, he said securing the release for Britney Griner is nothing short of really tough to impossible. Now, she's got 3 U.S. reps from Texas. Remember, her home state is Texas, and the one that's really trying to help her out is Joaquin Castro, and we're going to have to see. At least she's got some high-powered individuals in the House of Representatives that's trying to get her back. What do you think about poor Britney?
I mean, it was a boneheaded mistake to begin with, but I don't think the 10 years is deserving. I feel like it's a little bit harsher of a punishment than she should have gotten, just because I guarantee you played that she was American. They're not the biggest fans of us over there, but she's an all-star. She broke every dunk record, I believe, in college and in the NBA. She was one of the first women ever to dunk twice in a game, and she's had multiple times for that. Yeah. She played for Baylor, won them the national title. She is just an overall great player, and this is just unfortunate. There's not a lot we can do. The diplomacy thing has to work. My guess is we do get her out, but I'm going to guess it's going to take quite a while. We're looking at a couple years here before we can pull something off.
And it's got to be miserable. It's bad enough to ever being in jail in the United States, but can you imagine being in jail, in prison, in a foreign country, someplace as harsh as Russia? It's a sad thing. And what I question is, why, Britney? Why were you sneaking hash oil out of Russia into the United States when you could just buy it once you're back here? I mean, there's plenty of places, there's plenty of states that it's legal. I mean, that's taking a tremendous risk to sneak hash oil out of Russia. Now, I could see if she was sneaking it back into Russia. Yeah. Because maybe you've got some medicinal purposes that you need it for. It helps you sleep. But come on, that was just a bad decision. And unfortunately, my thoughts and prayers go out to you and your family in this really rough and difficult time. Anything else you want to add to this?
No, I just wish her the best and hope we can get her out soon and get her back to the United States so we can put this all behind us.
Absolutely. We'll be reporting on this all along. We'll keep you up to date on it. Baseball's back. Hey folks, I don't want to get into all the details because there's so many complicating, but basically millionaires fighting against billionaires. It looks like the billionaires inserted enough pressure that the actual players came a lot further across the line and ended up compromising, I think, a lot more, and the owners got what they wanted. But the best thing about it, folks, is on Jackie Robinson Day, April 15th, that is going to be the opening day for baseball, and I couldn't be happier. We'll have to check the Colorado Rockies schedule and find out when their first home series is, but that is one of the third largest parties in all of Denver is opening day. I'll be down there watching. I know I'm missing the parade, which is number 2 of the most important things. It's hard to compete with Broncos if it's a Bronco playoff game or a Broncos Raiders game, but those are your biggest things in Denver. And of course, we hope to see a Stanley Cup Championship Series here at the Ball Arena in a couple months. That would be great as well.
You know what didn't change about baseball? The Rockies owner's still cheap. Trevor Story still unsigned. I haven't added any new players. So you know what, Rockies fans? Throw the best party, drink a lot of beer. We're in for a rough ride again this year. But you know what? We'll still go to the games because we love our Rockies, and I just wish he would open up his checkbook. I see everybody else throwing checks and getting some good players, but
he won't do it.
We got it for the Broncos. We did great. We did it for the Nuggets that have a great team now. The Avalanche have a great team. The only one that's not opening up their pocketbook is the Rockies owner, and I can't figure out
and
why.
it is a pocketbook for Monfort's. He doesn't carry a wallet. He actually does carry a pocketbook. That's what everybody says. Anyways, but let's just look at it in perspective, okay? Poor Denver is a small market team. Well, guess what? He bought the team for about $300 some odd million. It is now valued at $1.3 billion, okay? So he's got the money. All right, he has the ability to open up his purse strings and allow for some pitching and allow for some free agent transfers. But people here in Denver are really sick of the Monfort family and for them playing for mediocrity. Now it's tough when you have LA, the LA Dodgers
and St. Giants and all them.
If you look at the LA Dodgers pitching, their pitching salaries combined for their top 5 pitchers is almost more than our entire payroll. Now that's a big problem. And that's one of the things about baseball I do not like. There is no salary cap like there are in the other leagues. So you have the teams like the Yankees, you have the teams like the Red Sox, and the LA Dodgers that can spend unlimited amount of money because they have the bigger TV contracts, and it's ridiculous. You watch a team like the Yankees or the Red Sox playing against a team like the A's or the Rockies, and they are tripling their payroll. I mean, that's just hard to compete against.
It really is.
Lastly, and the last thing we want to talk about is what happened in an unfortunate situation with Syracuse Orange basketball. Buddy Boeheim threw a punch. Again, he was frustrated. He ended up throwing a punch. It was caught on camera, and he was quickly disciplined by the ACC and had to sit out the next game, which was a very close game with Duke, and it really, I think, cost the Syracuse Orange a chance to knock off Duke, because if Buddy's there and his 19 points a game, I think you see the Syracuse Orange beating Duke and facing against Virginia Tech today in the championship.
Yeah, I could have saw that happening. I mean, it's an immaturity thing. Like, you got emotional. I get you were frustrated, but your team was going to win, and you end up punching a player. The one game, I think it's sufficient just because they lost the next game. If they would have gone on further, I don't know if I would have argued for a bigger suspension, but I don't see a lot of consistency in suspensions. I mean, Grayson Allen kept only getting one game, and he tripped players almost every other week.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to see Syracuse. They're not going to make the tournament this year, folks. They're going to be in the NIT. So really, in a sense, if you look at the punishment, if they beat Duke, okay, if they beat Duke, I think they're very close, because they're a 19-win season. That would have put them at a chance to be at 20 games, 21 games, and who knows? The way things worked out, they beat Duke, and they're playing against another team who Duke beat. Now, who was it that Duke beat to get into the finals here? I think it was
yesterday.
Let me see here real quick. It'll tell me on here the ACC. So you see Duke was playing against Miami. Well, you have a Syracuse-Miami matchup that Syracuse could beat Miami pretty easily. Now, do I think that they would have? I don't know. After watching Miami play yesterday, it would have been a tough game for them to win. But if they win those 2 games, Syracuse, you're now talking about being a bubble team and probably getting in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for tuning in to the Dr. Jimbo Love Show featuring Seth Matthew. We are broadcasting live today from Brothers Bar and Grill at the Shops of Northfield. Look at the line. Man, I'm telling you, I'll tell you what, it's great to have folks. We want to thank you folks for coming down and watching our show. We want to thank the folks that are downtown that are having their headphones in, listening to our show. We're really starting to get some traction. I'm loving it. Come on down. We'll be here all afternoon. Tell us a little bit real quick. What are the specials today for drink specials at Brothers Bar and Grill at the Shops of Northfield?
Yeah, so right now we got $5 Green Coors Lights. We also have $6 Blue Moons, and then they're both 20 ounces. And then we also are running $5 green tea shots. We're going to do that all the way through St. Patrick's and all the way through this month. And starting when just started, is $5 Broade shots, which is our version of a alcoholic Gatorade shot.
Oh wow, what's in it? So give us a rundown. Is it actual Gatorade with vodka in it?
No, so it's just a little bit of lemonade, a little blue raspberry, some vodka, and some triple sec, and it tastes exactly like a blue Gatorade.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Good. I'm gonna try one of those when we get off the air. That sounds really yummy to me.
Perfect.
So Seth always gives me all his spills here, which is really nice. I like that. So I get a chance to try a lot of different things. All right, folks. Hey, remember, you've got 6 days of incredible college basketball coming up. 2 days this weekend, and of course, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. You've got incredible hockey, college hockey. Of course, now, the Avalanche, we don't want to be remiss. They've lost a couple games as of late, but hey, it's hard to be number one in the NHL and not have a little bit of a letdown here and there. What do you think? Are you worried at all about the Avalanche?
I'm not worried.
Hiccup?
We have a little bit of a tough schedule left. I mean, we have Calgary coming up. I believe it's tomorrow. We don't play today. Everybody else does.
Right.
And the games we lost, we're not losing because of lack of effort and lack of shots. We lost to Carolina with a bogus call. I'm going to call out the refs here a little bit. Kemper shot it out. It went to Kadri. He was held, pulled down. He fell over. It popped back out to Carolina. They scored. Yeah. Now that doesn't happen. The other goal was an empty net. So maybe that game change is different. Not taking anything away from Carolina. They're an amazing team. They had just as many shots. I believe it was like 36-36 in shots. It was just a great overall game. The only game that concerned me was the New Jersey Devils. We had a 3-0 lead at one point. Then it went 3-1, and then the third period hit, and we're supposed to be a third period team, and we gave up 5 straight goals and ended up losing that game.
Wow.
So
yeah, no worries. You know, we talked about this too. You know, trying to maintain excellence through such a long season. Again, the real interesting thing is, folks, the deadline is the 21st, the trade deadline. There's a couple different people they're talking about there. Patty, what's his last name? The great skater for the Blackhawks.
Oh, Patrick Kane?
Patrick Kane is in the mix. Patrick Kane. There's other person that I think it's LaRue, right? Isn't that the gentleman too?
Yeah, you're looking at Claude Giroux.
Yep. And telling you, or it's Giroux, right? So, Joe Sakic, get out there, bust your tail, get us the Ray Bork, okay? Get us the gentleman that's going to get us over the hump so we can bring the cup home. We're excited, and we're going to be covering all hockey going forward. Remember, folks, we're going to announce, too, on Thursday or Wednesday of this week when we're doing our happy hour for hockey alumni. We're going to try to have an event here up in the mezzanine. We want to get as many hockey people down here as possible. We wanted you guys to enjoy Brothers. Remember, the next 4 or 5 days, you've got spring conditions here. Come down to this wraparound patio and enjoy Brothers. I mean, we have the doors open right now. It is absolutely the best bar north of anything downtown right now. Come to Brothers. Downtown is crowded. Come to Brothers. We got plenty of room for you.
Yeah, plenty of parking, and it's free. If you want to catch a movie, you can as well. And we'll have the cornhole sets out, and we'll set up some fun games later on tonight.
Excellent. All right. Well, folks, tune in again. Remember, you can catch us on YouTube. Look on Rumble. Look on Getter. Okay. Look in Facebook. We are there. It's the Dr. Jimbo Love Show featuring my main man right here, Seth Matthew. Seth, take us out. Let us know what you're thinking and how do you feel about our shows today.
Yeah, I think we had some great shows today. I think you guys should all go have fun for St. Patrick's Day. Make sure you stop on by here. Come say hi. We have some amazing drink specials. We always have the most fun, and we have the best party here in Colorado. Absolutely. So make sure you stop by and come cheer on for your favorite college basketball team.
Absolutely. Get some green beer, folks. Remember, get out there this weekend. Earn it. We'll see you next week, folks. Thanks for tuning in.